The World Cup explained for beginners. Now, last time we reacted to is the World Cup 104 times bigger than the Super Bowl? And if you were there, yeah, you know how that turned out. I think lately a lot of Americans have been trying to learn about the World Cup because, as Americans, we are absolutely clueless when it comes to these things. You guys know this. Here in America, they never show anything about the World Cup. It's always about the NFL or the Super Bowl. Some of you guys commented, I've never watched the Super Bowl. I'll never miss the World Cup. You see, in America, that's just so funny. It's like the opposite. Here in America, no one wants to miss the Super Bowl, but they'll miss the World Cup that only happens every 4 years. Make that make sense. Drop a like on this video to show me that you want me to do more videos like this, because I have no idea if you guys even enjoy this. This is the World Cup explained for beginners. And yes, I'm an American that doesn't know about the World Cup. I know.
What is the World Cup? The World Cup is the biggest international football tournament in the world. Unlike club football,
I learned that recently.
Real Madrid, Manchester United, Arsenal or Barcelona compete, the World Cup is all about countries. Instead of supporting a club, fans are watching national teams like Brazil, Argentina, England, France, and many others compete to become world champions. The tournament is organized by FIFA and usually takes place.
So basically the difference between the NFL and the Super Bowl, in the World Cup, you have your whole country competing. It's just funny because here in America, yeah, we just have a team compete to call themselves champions. But are you really the champion? But no, I'm just going to call it NFL. Basically here, the NFL, you support a team that has nothing to do with your country. It's just a random made up team. We just thought of the team and threw some players on it. Like there's no history from the team. There's no lineage. There's nothing. You just support the team. Either you like the team or you don't. That's why I enjoy the World Cup. You really have a reason to support a team in the World Cup.
Every 4 years. That is part of what makes it feel so special. You do not get a World Cup every season, you get one every 4 years. So every tournament feels like a major global event. At its simplest, the World Cup is football's way of answering one question. Which country has the best national team in the world? Why does the World Cup matter? The World Cup matters because it is bigger than just another football tournament. For many countries, it becomes a national event. People who do not normally watch football suddenly tune in. Families, friends.
Right here. Hey guys, all of us in America.
Cities and entire nations follow their team together, because when your country plays, it feels personal. It also matters because players are not representing a club team that they play for every season. They're representing where they come from. That creates a different type of pressure. A mistake can hurt an entire nation, but a great performance can make a player a national hero forever. And because the World Cup only happens every 4 years, chances are limited. A great generation of players might only get 1 or 2 real opportunities to win it.
Wow.
That is why every match feels important.
I completely forgot about that. So like the fact that it comes every 4 years, you have some players that really didn't even get to compete in the World Cup, especially if they were knocked out in the beginning. If any of you know in the comments, what's the soccer player that has appeared in the most World Cups? Who has the longest going career as a player?
And why winning the World Cup is seen as one of the biggest achievements in football or a player's career. Who gets to play in the World Cup? Not every country automatically gets to play in the World Cup. Before the tournament begins, countries have to qualify through their own region. Europe has its own process, South America has its own, and Africa, Asia, North America, and Oceania all have their own routes too. The host nation—
Wait, but you didn't explain what determines who versus who. Like, for example, when we were looking right there, for example, in Group B, it says New Zealand versus Tahiti. Now, what decides that? That's my question. Who decides that New Zealand versus Tahiti? Who decides that Canada versus North America? How is it split on determining who versus who? Because obviously in the beginning, if we're trying to qualify, right, you wouldn't want to take a really good team versus a really good team, would you? Or am I dumb?
All have their own routes too. The host nations qualify automatically. For everyone else,
host
it has
nations
to be
qualify
For new
automatically?
fans, the easiest way to follow the teams is to think of it in—
That's kind of crazy to think. If you host it, you qualify automatically. I'm assuming the hosts would have qualified anyway, even if they weren't hosting it. I'm assuming the hosts are usually pretty solid teams that usually do pretty good every single time. Correct me if I'm wrong.
4 categories. The favorites, nations with the squads and experience to go all the way. France, Brazil, Argentina, England, Spain, Germany, and Portugal are usually the suspects.
The chances of winning.
Brazil, Argentina, England, Spain, Germany, and Portugal are usually
chances of winning a World Cup. They got Brazil at 16%, France at 14%, Spain at 10%. Hey, America's not even on there. We have no chance. Do we suck?
The suspects. The dark horses. They're the teams that could surprise everyone. Norway are a compelling example this year, qualifying for their first World Cup in decades with Erling Haaland leading their attack. The underdogs are nations who very few expect to go far, but who create the tournament's best stories. In 2022, Morocco reached a semi-final and Japan beat both Germany and Spain in the group stages. Nobody saw either coming. And the star players.
Japan
the individuals
was even on that
who can
list.
Change a game in one moment. Watch out for Mbappe, Harry Kane, Vinicius Jr., Messi, Ronaldo, and Lamine Yamal if he recovers from injury in time. So when watching for the first time, don't just ask.
Oh wait, I gotta go back to that Japan thought. I never knew Japan's soccer was a threat like that. I've never even seen Japan compete in soccer. I mean, to be fair, I haven't seen no one compete. I'm just a dumb American, but still, I didn't know Japan was a threat. Even though they said they're not normally a threat, they were an underdog that just came out of nowhere. But still, hey, shout out to Japan. I know everyone, you guys watching has your favorite teams, but is there any underdog teams that you kind of look out for, or any teams you watch? Let me know some guys to start looking out for.
Ask who is playing. Ask which category they fall into. How qualification works. Qualification is basically the road to the World Cup. Because there are so many countries in world football, FIFA does not simply put every nation into the final tournament. Instead, countries compete within their own football region, also known as a confederation. There are 6 main confederations. UEFA is Europe, CONMEBOL is South America, CAF is Africa, AFC is Asia, CONCACAF is North America, Central America, and the Caribbean, and OFC is Oceania. Each region gets a certain number of World Cup places, and within each region, countries play a series of matches against.
It is mind-blowing to think like how detailed the World Cup is. Like, look at all these different rounds, all these different placements to lead up to this 4-year game. Like, look at this is the road to 2030. See, the NFL could never. We go on a game to game basis. Like, the team flies to this city and they play this city. Like, it is crazy to see how in depth the World Cup is. Like,
each other over months or even years. The top finishers earn their place at the World Cup, so qualification can look very different depending on where a country is from. For some major nations, qualifying is expected. For others, simply reaching the World Cup is a historic achievement. And for the 2026 World Cup, this matters even more because the tournament has expanded from 32 teams initially to 48 teams, meaning more countries than ever will get the chance to play on the biggest stage in football. How the World Cup draw works. Once the teams have qualified, they are placed into the World Cup draw. The draw is where the tournament starts to take shape. It decides which team go into which groups and who each country will face in the first stage of the competition. Teams are usually separated into different pots before the draw. These pots are mainly used to...
Let me see the pots again.
Competition. Teams are usually...
Got pot 1, United States, Mexico, Canada, Spain, Argentina. Pot 2, Croatia. Okay.
Usually separated into different pots before the draw. These pots are mainly used to stop all the strongest teams being placed together straight away. So instead of having
that's what I was talking about. That makes sense.
And another group full of weaker teams, the draws try to spread them out more evenly.
Yeah.
But even with that system, some groups can still end up much harder than others. That is where the phrase group of death comes in. It usually means a group with several strong teams, where even a good side could be knocked out early. So the World Cup draw does not decide.
Oh, that would be terrible. So you could literally, you could just have no chance of going to the World Cup. If you're trying to place for the World Cups, it really doesn't make sense to have a good team versus a good team. Like, we should wait for that on the prime stage at the World Cup. But like how he just explained, you kind of can't stop that or avoid that. Sometimes you just have a stacked group. But that would be terrible to get taken out before the World Cup.
Who wins the tournament, but it can make a country's path much easier or much harder. The group stage explained. The group stage is the first part of the World Cup. After the draw, teams are placed into groups of 4. Each team plays the other 3 teams in the group, giving every side 3 matches to prove themselves. The aim is to collect enough points to finish high enough in the table and reach the knockout stage. In the 2026 World Cup, the top 2 teams from each group advance automatically. On top of that, the 8 best third place finishers from across all groups also go through. So finishing third is not automatically the end, but it is a risk. This part of the tournament gives teams a little bit room for error. One bad result does not always end your World Cup, but it can also put you under serious pressure. For example, if a team wins its first match, they're usually in a strong position. But if a team loses their first match, their next game can suddenly feel like a must-win game.
Damn.
The group stage is where the tournament starts to build drama. Some favorites qualify comfortably, some big teams struggle, and sometimes smaller nations shock everyone. Points, goal differences, and tiebreakers. In the group stage, teams are ranked using points. A win gives you 3 points, a draw gives you 1 point, and the loss gives you 0 points. So if a team
I know y'all made fun of me in the comments last time over this, but I still can't get over that, because here in America, we cannot get over the fact that there's a tie. That's what's so funny. I've seen the comments going back and forth. I know, guys. Here in America, we don't do ties. Our American ego can't handle a tie, all right? We got to know either we win or lose.
Team wins 1 match, draws 1 match, and loses 1 match, they finish with 4 points. But sometimes 2 or more teams can finish level on point. When that happens, the tournament needs tiebreakers to decide who finishes higher. The main one is usually goal difference. This means the number of goals a team has scored minus the number of goals they've conceded.
That's what I will say. Hey, with the ties, at least you have the most fire tiebreaker games. Like, oh, I know those games have to be so sweet.
So if a team scored 5 goals and concedes 2, their goal difference is +3. But if they score 2 and concede 5, their goal difference is -3. This is why every goal matters in the World Cup. A late goal in a group stage match might not just change that game, it could decide who qualifies and who goes home. The knockout stage. After the group stage, the World Cup moves into the knockout stage. This is where the tournament becomes much more brutal. In the group stage, a team can lose a match and still recover. But in the knockout stage, there are no second chances. If you win, you move on. If you lose, your World Cup is over. The knockout stage follows a clear path. The last 32 starts the process, and the last 16, then the quarterfinals, then the semi-finals, and finally, the final itself. With every round, the field gets smaller and the stakes get higher. Although not literally, the field does not literally get smaller, it just means...
What soccer player is that? I see him all the time. What is his name? Does it start with an L or am I dumb?
There's less teams. There is also a third place playoff, where the 2 losing semi-finalists play 1 final match to decide who finishes 3rd in the tournament. But it is the final where everything comes together.
Look how many people
the last 2 teams left compete to become world champions in front of a global audience of billions. This is also where pressure becomes much higher. Teams often play more carefully because one mistake, 1 red card, 1 missed chance, or 1 penalty shootout can send them home. So if the group stage is about...
And imagine getting a red card, your whole country is watching on the TV like... That's what's crazy about the World Cup compared to the NFL. Like, the players in the NFL, they don't care. They don't got their whole country watching them and relying on them to, you know what I mean, perform. Yeah, at the World Cup, there's a little more pressure going on. Yeah, you got your mama, you got everyone watching back at home. Yeah.
Surviving the knockout stage is about handling pressure when everything is on the line. Extra time, penalties, and the final. In the group stage, matches can end in a draw, but in the knockout stage, every match needs a winner. So if a knockout game is level after 90 minutes, it goes to extra time. Extra time, as we've explained in previous videos, is 30 more minutes of football, split into 2 halves of 15 minutes. If one team is winning after extra time, they go through. But if the match is still level after extra time, it goes to a penalty shootout. In a penalty shootout, each team takes turns sending individual players to take a shot from the penalty spot, 1-on-1 against the goalkeeper. Each side starts with 5 attempts. The team that scores the most wins. If it is still level after 5 each, it continues 1 penalty at a time until one team misses and the other team scores. This is one of the most dramatic moments in football, and it was also how the World Cup ended in 2022. Entire tournaments can come down to 1 player, 1 shot, and 1 goalkeeper guessing the right way. Eventually, the knockout stage leads...
Now that's the type of game I want to watch right there.
to the final, the last match of the tournament, where the last 2 teams standing compete in front of a global audience of billions. The winner lifts the World Cup and becomes world champion. And that is the basic structure of the World Cup.
So yeah, that was just a quick basic video of just giving a quick summary of the World Cup. There's still quite a few questions I have and a lot of things missing that I feel like didn't get answered from the video because it was a quick summary, but there was quite a few things I learned about the World Cup. I love that in the knockout stage, there's no tie. The fact that you see them keep going and they keep adding the time, or they take penalty shots to see who wins, that has to be the most exciting thing to watch and be there in person, you know? I think a big question I have for a lot of you is, so how long does a star player play? Like, do they play the full duration? I know they have to take breaks, but how often do they sub out? How often do they switch the players out? Or are these players just like crazy human beings with super durability to where these guys are just running forever the whole game? let me know. Because that's how they make it seem with some of the highlights. It's like these players play the whole game. Yeah, for our future videos, I'm still unsure like what gets you a red card, what gets you a penalty, what earns you penalty shots. There's so many things and so many questions I still need answered to. So we're going to have to continue on with another video explaining it in depth detail. And I think I'm going to do a video where we learn more about the players, maybe look at the top goals this World Cup, look at the teams explained, stuff like that. But yeah, comment down below what I should react to next, or if you know any videos I could react to that could be good for the channel to better our World Cup knowledge as an American. But like the video if you made it this far so I know to keep making more for you guys, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next one. Yeah, I've been having fun just learning about the World Cup and exploring the world. This channel, we're going to explore the world. We're going to explore a lot of things together. And I just want to appreciate you guys for all the continued love and support. You guys is what makes me keep going. And I know I'll be stuttering a lot. I don't cut it out my videos. Maybe I should cut it out my videos, or should I leave it in? Let me know down in the comments if that's something that annoys me, you know. I'm trying to get better with every video. But love you guys for watching along with me. Peace out.